summer schedules are different than the regular day-to-day schedules, especially during the year, because there's a lot of time off. The kids aren't going to school from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., whatever it may be. It's less of a routine, but also because of that, that's when a lot of people plan their holiday vacations. They put summer camps on those things, and there's a lot more different activities and a lot more moving parts. So it tends to be a different schedule incorporated in shared parenting schedules or holiday plans. It's flagged in a different section and isn't usually just the same day to day. That being said, we can still have the same day to day if that works for the parents. And say the kid goes to a summer camp from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. and the parent works from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. There's no reason to change it, but you can still keep the default parenting time, but most of the time it changes to a different schedule. It could be that the kid is involved in a ton of activities during the summer, and so then the parenting plan has to accommodate those different activities, or it could be that that's when they take their grand family vacation, and so that's, with mom's side of the family or with dad's side of the family, so you have to make sure that July 1st through 15th, that's every year that they have this plan or this vacation, that's with mom or that's with dad. So, when handling it, it is unique to every situation, but there are certain defaults that the different jurisdictions look at. So, like, they can be mom gets 4 weeks during the summer, dad gets 4 weeks during the summer. Say mom is residential parent, the kid just has to be back 1 week before school. So there are some defaults, but it is very flexible depending on the family, depending on the kid, depending on the parents' schedules and everything like that. So the hardest thing is probably when you're in limbo and you're in the summer months and you're trying to get the case started, but you can't necessarily figure it all out before back to school. Or like you're in school and summer's coming up and there's not a court hearing until July and the kids go out to school in May. So that's typically the hardest thing. And to address that, we would get like a temporary parenting schedule in place and we would file a motion to have something like that so that the court can say, here's what you're going to do during the summer. And you can have a little bit more concrete and guidance before making that final decision of what we're going to do for the summer going forward. It's usually few and far between because the parties, if they can agree to something outside of the agreement, you don't have to come back and tweak it every time. The default will just be the agreement and will just be the order. However, I have seen it where there's a misunderstanding in the language where it's like, okay, well, I thought that I could take the kids on vacation for this month, or I thought that I didn't have to clear that with him. And so it does come back when mainly there's a miscommunication or a misconnect, not necessarily if there's something that didn't come up in the school year. It's more of trying to get the logistics right, but a lot of parents don't come back because they can just agree to the terms otherwise. Pretty much anytime because the same way that summer applies, winter break applies too. Because winter break, that's a long duration that's abnormal from the regular school schedule and the regular time. So it's really any time to think about it. But like I mentioned, temporary parenting orders that we can get in and we can get something in place. So even if you do file for a divorce, like in the spring, right before something lets out, there's still a way to address your concerns and address the summer parenting time, or like if you file right before fall break or winter break, there's still time to address those and there's methods to address them. You're not backed into a corner. You don't have to you have to file before the school lets out, or like you have to file before you get back to school, because there are mechanisms to tweak the things. And granted, if you're not in agreement with your partner and with your other parent, it makes things a lot harder, and it can make the process go a lot longer, and it's harder to get those things on the book, because then you have to go back and forth and you have to litigate why one person gets one time and why another person doesn't get that time. So there's a lot of considerations, but there's also a lot of options that you can do. It's not like you have to do mom gets 4 weeks, dad gets 4 weeks. You can make a plan that works for you and your family. And also, there's a way to approach it too in the court, that if you guys can't agree on something, it can be figured out. I'm Claire O'Brien with MP Weiss Law, and if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call. This video is for informational purposes only and does not create an attorney-client relationship. For advice, seek an Ohio licensed attorney.